What's up, everybody? I'm Daemon Hatfield here with my good friend Jared Petty.
Greetings.
We were just discussing the unfortunate passing of the father of video games, Ralph Baer, the gentleman behind me, at the age of 92.
92 years old. 92 years old, and by many reports, apparently still inventing. After that time, Ralph Baer was a prolific inventor.
Oh, sure.
But no invention of his was more important than his brown box, which was the first home video game console.
Yeah, and a lot of IGN viewers and readers may not be familiar with Ralph Baer, but if it weren't for him, you probably would not be playing Uncharted 4 next year.
Yeah, Ralph Baer invented home video games. That's what he did. Okay, now there are several people that have a piece of a claim to inventing home video games. For example, Steve Russell, who invented computer games in Space War, or Nolan Bushnell, who popularized arcade games and made a lot of the innovations. And there's several other people, Willie Higginbotham, for example. But Ralph Baer came along, looked at the television, and said, what can I do with this besides sit back and passively watch TV? And he came up with the idea of games. And he came up with that idea and started putting it down in paper in the 1960s.
He was working at a defense contractor.
Yeah, at a place called Sanders Associates. And he sat down and was like, what can I do here? He had trouble getting backup for the project, actually, because it was a defense contractor.
And he's like, I want to work on a game that you play on your TV screen.
And people kind of looked at him funny, but he kept at it. He was an innovative guy. And he made this list of genres in September of '66, handwritten list. Things like action games, sports games, educational games, artistic games. He listed a lot of the genres that we have now, and eventually put them together and made this neat device.
So he sold the idea to Magnavox. Magnavox released it as the Magnavox Odyssey in 1972. That was the first home video game console.
Yeah, they manufactured something around 350,000 of them. Apparently it did pretty well.
It was a success. It was Sanders' most popular product for a time.
Yeah, but they didn't know what they had. They just didn't understand. He did, I think, but they didn't. And,
Nolan Bushnell knew that he had something.
Yeah, Nolan Bushnell knew exactly what they had. He had been now, but this gets complex because Bushnell was also interested in, again, the work that had been done on Space War, a different project, and he kind of met at a fusion of those two ideas. Was like, aha!
Right.
And went and created Atari and did some amazing things. But Baer really does deserve tremendous credit. Without him, the story of video games might not exist at all, and certainly wouldn't exist the way it does now.
Also created the first video game peripheral. He made a light gun to be sold for the Magnavox Odyssey.
Yeah, he made a light gun. He came up with the idea along, again, Russell did this at MIT. He came up with wired controllers that you held away from the unit, so you weren't sitting there trying to do this. An innovation that was also seen on Space War. He also invented Simon. You know, little boop, boop.
Yep,
boop.
Electronic Simon in 1978.
Yeah, and a host of other things. He invented parachute systems and voice-activated intercoms and recordable children's books and just all kinds of nifty things. A really, really prolific guy. Guys, if you don't know much about him, go look up, learn more. This is our history. This is one of the most significant losses that we've ever had in the culture of video games. Not going to be the last, but one of the first really huge ones.
That's what's interesting about it. Video games are such a young medium. There haven't been many pioneering figures that we've lost so far.
Gunplay Yokoi, Danny Button, perhaps, but not too many that we've lost yet.
Sure.
Yeah.
And this is the father of video games. Very, very sad to hear of his passing, but he was 92 years old. He lived a very long, prolific life. So we definitely want to take a moment to respect the man, respect the father of video games.
Go home, play your favorite video game. That's the best way to respect him.
That's true.
Remember that. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Jared. For everything video games, stick with us here at IGN.